this guy coming in right now, he's from the old shop. He's been trying to play me a little bit. He sold me some fake coins. He's got shit. He wants top dollar for it. I was giving it to him for a while and I started getting burned on it. So he's about to walk in here and see what he's giving me today. I like borderline don't want to do a deal with him now because I just get irritated with this. I don't like being taken advantage of. How you doing?
Like this, maybe 5 piece. You, how much pay? 5 piece.
China, some kind of a gold Olympic. Oh, Beijing 08.
999.
Yeah, let me look it up. Probably not because these Olympic gold coins after the Olympics, nobody really wants them. 0.667 of an ounce of gold. I would offer you $13.50.
Eh?
$13.50.
13?
1,350 is what I would pay you on that.
How many piece?
6 total. So 4 silver coins, 2 gold coins. Yeah, I looked it up. Melt value, gold value, 1,300 for everything. So 50 over just for set. You know, I'd probably get 16 on it. But this won't sell fast. I don't want to sell something that's gonna.
You, 1 box, how much pay?
$13.50 for the set. Yeah.
Maybe come tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be here. Exactly what I imagined. So once again, he's got a set that is collectible, but he wants the premium that I don't want to pay. When I first started doing business with him on my own, because I was so happy that I had a customer from the old shop following me here, but he'd bring me stuff that was like really expensive. Like he had this Great British Sovereign set. I paid like $3,000 on it, and I sat on it for like 4 months, and I ended up selling, I think I got 2,700. I lost money on it. I just came across a receipt of a fake coin set that he sold me. This fake shipwreck coin set. Paid him $750 for it, had to refund, or I paid him $600 on it, and I sold it for $750. Turned out to be fake. I had to give a refund and take it back. He's giving me a little bit back on it, but only about $300. So like I've lost money on this with him, and like, you know, I should have known better looking at those coins. But so now I'm really careful about buying stuff from him, and whenever I see him coming, I kind of cringe because he's trying to peddle me something that's expensive that I don't want to buy, and he gets really pissy about it. The other thing he'll do, I really didn't like this, I'll never let him do it again. He wanted to see 3 currency notes. This was about 2 months ago. He goes, I'll pay you later. And I was like, well, yeah, like I know you probably will, but like I didn't say that was okay. He just like walked out and he's old. I'm not gonna like grab an old man and be like, no. So when he came back in, I was like, yeah, don't do that again. Oh no, what ended up happening was he didn't even pay me for it. He traded me, and the item he traded me was made of gold, but it was like a tiny little gold piece. And I had to give him another $10 on top. I still haven't sold that. So like instead of just paying me, he just made it more complicated. And he's like kind of taking advantage of me is what I'm saying. And I do not like that. So I put my foot down with him, and I'm gonna be really bullish on whatever I buy from him. That set that I just saw, if he's got the whole set, retails about $18.50 on it. So I offered him $500 under retail, but I don't think I'll get $18.50. I bet I'll get 16 tops, and I'll probably sit on the set for a month. And that's, you know, I gotta pay taxes on that. It's numismatic. So it's just borderline like not worth my time to buy that stuff from him. So I didn't film this deal. I was helping, I call him Mouth Breather Mike. He's this boomer that comes in here and stays forever, and he sounds like Elmer Fudd, and he talk. I think he was in like the 1st or 2nd episode of Pawn Man. He came from the old shop, but there was a deal that my other guy was doing while I was helping this guy, and he bought a boomerang. And bought himself a boomerang, so what you fella to do? I'm gonna go test it out, which can only end well. So I'm gonna throw it once, I wanna see if it works. When's the last time I threw a boomerang? All right, let's hope I don't break a car window. I know this is only gonna end well. All right, let's give this thing a little test. I don't know how you throw this. If you go like that, or if you go like that. Okay, that was my one test. It works. Oh, I wanna throw it hard. Nope. That's not gonna end well. Toward the end of the day, I got $25 for this boomerang I paid $1 for. All right, I got a remote deal here. Let's check it out. Oh shit, I know what this is. What do you think?
Nazi shit?
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's got a bunch of badges on it too. God, it looks like a bullet, like fucking like whoosh. Boy, I can't imagine this still will ever get taken out of context. Why do you have this? So one thing, I do always wonder, it's like, oh, you should be one to talk. I run a business, I have an excuse. Why do you have this? $300 for the flag and all the badges. $300, and I am the proud owner of this, yeah. What do we have here? Oh, a lovely print of some ducks. Nazi shit and some feel-good stuff. So this is pretty cool. Now I have a lot of Nazi stuff here and it's all high dollar stuff. And what I found is as historically interesting as it is, the people that just want to buy this shit, they're far and few between because of the price cost to get good stuff. So each of these, I could probably part them out for 30 to 60 bucks each, these little badges here. I paid $300 for the whole thing. He wanted 4, I wouldn't do it. What I like about this is this definitely saw combat. This looks like a tracer round one. So this is going in that Nazi mystery box. I'm gonna assess this at a value of $400, so I'll make 100 bucks. And then the other 100 is here. Okay, so I'm losing money at this, or I'm about breaking even. Fuck it, they've spent a lot of money with me. This is adding on to an already $300 mystery box they had. So I will give them this shit. I was trying to do this as like a Nazi pack. I was trying to get 150 on it and I did not get it. So we'll just throw this in the box and off this Nazi shit goes. Got some new stickers for my board. These are gonna be the last fun ones I put up because I want to keep it people I'm doing business within the community, but these are things that are like personal to me. These 3 are from Dragon Ball Z because I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. Capsule Corp, the Majin symbol, very influential to me. Goku fighting Frieza. And then this Pokeball. And they also sent me this cute little Pikachu, but honestly, I don't like Pikachu, so I'm gonna put this up somewhere else. We're gonna put the Pokeball right next to Gay 90s, which is a club in Minnesota that I love to go to. It's so much fun. On a Saturday night, you might see me there. Very drunk. And if you were there this past Saturday, you saw me in my underwear and nothing else, because they had an underwear party. And I took all my clothes off. It was great. Huzzah. How can I help you? Silver plate, I can see it from here. Let me take a look. I will buy it, it's not expensive. It's only $1 a pound.
Right.
When it gets this weird kind of color, yeah, EP means electroplated.
Gotcha. And then this didn't have anything, so I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, this one is too. You can just tell by the color. You got $2.
Cool.
Awesome. You want to say hi to YouTube?
Yeah, why not?
I literally never do this. Hey-oh. Go follow. What's your ad again?
Unicorn Daddy 69.
You're, what do you have, like 400,000 on TikTok?
430.
See you later. See you later. Go follow him, everyone. It is Sunday. I'm in here. I don't know, I came in here a couple hours ago because I had a lot of eBay orders to do. But let me show you guys what the basement is looking like. Y'all remember last episode, we got all the caster wheels sold finally. So this basement is cleared out. And I'm eventually gonna get renovated when I get a little extra money. It's about a $5,000 project. It's on the horizon. I can't afford to do it this moment, but hopefully in the next 3 months, like by the end of the summer is my goal to get this project going. You guys remember from last year, I was going to do it and I was all gung-ho about doing it. And I chipped these walls for, maybe about 40 minutes. And I was like, this is hard. And I hurt my hands and I made like no progress. Fuck this, I'm gonna just pay someone to do it. So here we are, a year later, casters are gone. That's coming up, but for now, this is my new setup for melting jewelry. So we got a floodlight above, got a couple blow torches. This is my acid solution in a coffee cup. I need to put a label on here that says do not drink because I'm the kind of idiot that just be like, oh, I'm thirsty, I forgot what was in it. And then I drink acid and die. Got my safety equipment, fire extinguisher. I bought this metal tray on Amazon. So this is some gold scrap that we are going to melt down. So let's kind of dump it out here. This one came on a 14 karat chain. I think this is mother of pearl. It's like a little drum thing. Fuck it, I'm gonna just melt it out and take the pearl piece. Most of these rings, like they look good, but they're not terribly nice stones. Like this aquamarine is kind of whatever. It's not a great stone. It's like a little cloudy. Same thing with this one, not great. This opal is cool, but I'd rather just melt the gold. It's a peridot, I think. I'd rather just melt the gold and pop the stones out and sell the stones loose. I think this is an emerald. Certainly nothing here that I'd want to sell as is. So what we will do, all right, get on my safety glasses, my Breaking Bad mask. Let's make some meth.
The acid cup is on fire because I added too much hydrochloric acid because I'm a terrible chemist.
Yeah, it's like 9 o'clock on a Sunday. I think that's enough chemistry for one night. But isn't this fun? I'm gonna get better at this because I'm still like a super duper novice, if you guys can't tell. Well, I definitely can't tell. You seem very professional. You started your own materials on fire. That's the mark of a professional. You can see though, these are all the gems that I got out. Some of them I torched, but they're not expensive anyway, but some of them are just fine. I might be able to get 20, 30 bucks on a couple of these. So I got these Mobutu graded currency notes in the mail in front of a customer, and the customer bought them on the spot, and I was like, well, I gotta hold them for a week. I need to make content about these. So here's some content about Mobutu. Full name, Mobutu Sese Seko, if I'm saying that right, out of what is formerly known as the Congo. Mobutu gained power in the 1960s. He rose through the military. In 1960, he became the head of the military. He pulled a coup. He killed the first president of the country, or I should say his actions had him killed. He had him killed. Second coup, 1965, installed him into power as, president. With his installation into power, he became a dictator, and he did all the fun, crazy thing that dictators do. They nationalize the country to themselves. They hoard the people's money into their own wealth and pockets. I mean, he was driving around his country in this ridiculous fleet of Mercedes-Benz as like everyone was starving. He gave himself all these ridiculous, grandiose titles like Messiah, Father of the Nation, Supreme Combatant. So, of course, he was not a person for the people. He was very corrupt. He ran a kleptocracy. His whole government was just rife with corruption. A kleptocracy is a political government that functions through corruption. North Korea is a great example. He was known for, like I said, human rights violations, nepotism, and like any good dictator, hyperinflation. The people are starving. He devalued the nation's currency. Just completely reckless spending that was only going into his own pocket and just making the people's lives miserable. I can't imagine how many people he had killed. Fun little fact about him, he was backed by the US and France and Belgium and even Mao Zedong's China because he was anti-Soviet communist. Now, there's like Pepsi and Coke as far as communism went. Russia's communism was Pepsi, China's communism was Coke. Actually, it doesn't matter. You get the analogy. So we see them as being two different kinds of communism, and we are more anti-Russian communism than we are anti-Chinese communism. And frankly, so is Mao Zedong. There's some really funny interactions between the leaderships of Russia going into China in the 1960s and the blunders that happened as a result. Like they did not get along. So we back this guy, and his power lasts until the 90s. In 1994, he's grooming his son to take over his throne. But his son dies of AIDS. And then in 1997, everything just goes to shit for him. He gets ostracized, he's exiled to Morocco, where he lives out the rest of his life. So this is some of the currency from his reign. These are specimens. Fortunately, I sold it right away, but now I need to get more of these because I would like to have some of these in my showcase. I'm like trying to build a museum collection in here of things that I can talk about to customers, because I had a lady come in here the other week and I gave her the grand tour of my terrible showcase, and like by the end of it, she was like, God, you should charge admission here. Yeah, shut up. I'm gonna show you guys something amazing. So I don't have this here. Iowa Coin Guy just messaged me. He wants to know about consignments because, it's getting more and more successful, my consignments. So I'm gonna try and sell this for him. This is a $12,500 note. He thinks it could go 10 to 15,000 at auction. So I was like, well, see if I can get 12.5 for you. This is the education note, as it is known. We covered this last year. I had one. It was in really ratty shape. These notes are rare enough. I don't have one here. I've only seen them just a handful of times in my career. It's one of my favorite pieces of US currency ever made. It's such a well-designed note. I've said this before, but make currency great again. American currency used to be so beautiful, and then it got shitty. I don't like the shit we have now. It looks like Monopoly money. Anyway, so this note is known as the education note because this is Lady Liberty educating the youth about the history of the United States. There's all kinds of symbolic stuff here in the note. The Constitution, she's pointing to the Washington Monument. There's some other symbolic stuff. If you look here and on the back, there's the torch of Lady Liberty. We see the laurels in her hair. There's, like I said, there's lots of symbolism going on with this note. It's really cool. So this note, this isn't just any note that's an 1896 education note in excellent condition. This was a gift, this note, from the mint to Grover Cleveland's wife, but it comes with the original letter, Miss Cleveland, from the Treasury Department, or well, I guess Treasury Department, not the Mint. And here we see the original letter. So $12,500. If you guys are watching this, apparently this is going up for sale later summer 2022. So if you're watching it beforehand and you are interested in this note for $12,500, let me know. I can make this happen. Really, really, really cool stuff. And I love that I'm getting more and more consigned items, because even if I can't sell them, like it makes my Discord for a sales section look really good. There's like cool Star Wars stuff, all this other vintage stuff. This is all consignment stuff. And then I have a piece of US history right here on Discord. Just got this in the mail. Loot Stackers. Steven's Best Loot. Buy, sell, trade. Established in 05. I was in 10th grade in 05. Yeah, so I just bought, I paid 80 bucks. This is what I bought from Esteban. Isn't that cool? I was watching his live last Saturday and I was kind of drunk, and he had these half-gram PlayStation rounds, and I was like, oh, I gotta get one for my collection. So very cool. So we're gonna put him up on the leaderboard. As far as the hat goes, well, I don't wanna fuck up my hair. I'm about to record my monologue. Very carefully. Yeah, I don't wear hats. This is why. This needs no explanation. Oh, maybe if you turned it to the side. No, you look even dumber. What if it was backwards? These big floppy ears, I'm like Dumbo. Okay. All right, the hat. Pawn dealers already gave me a hat. I'll just put the hat right there. The sticker I'll put up though. Really quick, you guys, I wanted to show you some other stuff before I get to filming here. I did really well on that Mobutu currency, so I bought some more. By the time you guys are seeing this, these are probably already sold. It's Saturday right now. I'm gonna advertise these on Monday. I bet I'm gonna sell all of them on Monday. But I got some of that. This is a fake banknote from New Orleans. This is like really rare. I'll probably explain this in another episode because we already have a lot of content for this one. And last but not least, there we go, Dominator. I do a lot of business with Dominator. Dominator just sold me a bunch of Star Wars stuff. So I got colorized Boba Fett, IG-11. I got a loose Mandalorian. I have what is it, ATT? And then I have a Proof 70 Ultra Cameo Millennium Falcon. Those retail for, this price I have here at $425 is actually a steal. These go for like $500 online, and he gave me an even better deal. He must have had a couple of them because I couldn't believe the deal he gave me. Then I actually might keep that for my collection. Boba Fett's fighter, doesn't call it his fighter plane. Shows you how much I like Star Wars. And then a Chibi, and then Baby Yoda. And really quickly, I want to say, if you're an online Instagram dealer, a bullion dealer like me, I don't want to buy anything right now because I'm getting so busy with walk-ins, and the price is right for the walk-in stuff. What happens is I spend the premium with like online dealers, and then when the good deals, the walk-ins come in, then I don't have the money for it because I spent it on this shit and it sits for too long. The margins aren't as good, so just don't ask me if I want to buy it. I probably don't want to buy it. All right, let's record this monologue now. What's going on, you guys? We're Between the Pawn. I'm Evan, and I own a gold and silver business. How's my week been? I'm so fucking busy. Oh, it's after hours right now. Everything's going well, is the good of it. The bad of it is I just took a vacation and I kind of need another one already. I'm gonna go someplace this summer. I'm for sure gonna try and take more vacations. I need more time off because my God, am I busy. But let's get into what's going on, how the week has been. There's a couple things I wanna talk about and then we'll jump into the questions. So the first thing that I wanna get into, and oh, I can't believe that this happened because this never happens with me. Over the last year since I've gone off on my own and put on my big boy pants and opened this business up by myself, I've had to deal with a lot of companies for various things having to do with my business here, dealing with these multi-billion-dollar companies that have no value on you as a customer. They just completely shit on you, whether it be insurance, or financing, or banking, or all of the above. I am so motherfucking sick of these goddamn evil, soulless billion-dollar companies. And I've dealt with so much bullshit, especially over the last 2 months. And this recently, as you guys know, I got shut down on one of my payment services for selling North Korean coins. Now, I'm not gonna get into the nitty specifics of it because it caused me a huge problem. One of my friends slapped me upside the head and told me to just stop selling North Korean shit. And it's like, well, no, because 1, then they win. 2, I do great on the stuff. 3, I'm like the only person who sells it, especially here in my state. 4, like, no, I'm not gonna let them win. I wanna fucking sell this shit. I think it's interesting. I think it's historically important. I like that, well, 1, I make fun of the North Korean regime all the time. I think that's hilarious. And 2, it is important to traffic the stuff. It's the same reason why I traffic Nazi goods. These are historically important items that provide discourse to future generations as to how awful the past was. Every time I look at a Third Reich medal, the first thing I think about is had those fuckers won, I wouldn't exist. That's why I'm so morbidly fascinated with the Third Reich. It is the most pivotal point in human history, World War II, and that's why I'm so drawn to it. The North Korean regime is the most awful regime on this planet. Their country, I think, is fascinating in the worst way possible. And that's why I'm so obsessed with trafficking their goods, because it is providing a discourse to future generations about how bad they were. Because in 250 years, they might, if the regime falls, they might burn everything. The coins that I sell is a great documentation that they existed, what they believed, and what they stood for. So I got in trouble with one of my payment services because one of my customers put North Korean coins in the memo. Just future reference, if you're buying that shit from me, leave the memo blank. Somebody, and they didn't know what they were doing, but somebody put North Korea in the memo, and this payment service jumped down my fucking throat and banned my account and launched an investigation. And this went on for about a month. Now, where this gets interesting is this payment service also has credit, and I used that credit quite a lot. I had about a $1,000 tab. So when they froze my account, they wouldn't let me make credit payments. Now, it's one thing to freeze my account for a moral clause, and mind you, I'm not doing anything illegal here. The law is you can't buy stuff directly from the North Korean government or any government official, anybody actually affiliated with the country. I'm not directly buying it from them, and that is the only thing that is wrong. Everything else is just this company's moral standpoint. So I owed this company money. My credit score is attached to this, and they wouldn't let me make payments. It's one thing to block me from using your service because I've stepped on your company's moral toes. That's fine. But if you're offering credit in the United States, you gotta play ball by the federal rules. And the federal rules are, if you're a creditor and I'm a debtor and I owe you money and I have the means to pay you that money on the time schedule that we have agreed on as per the terms, you have to take my money. I don't care that you don't like what I'm doing. You gotta take my fucking money. So they wouldn't let me make a credit payment. And it's like, well, so I'm gonna be late on a credit payment, which is gonna impact my credit score, which is gonna cause all kinds of problems for me. You know, I'm trying to buy a house in the next year. So I reported them to the government. I went to the Federal Trade Commission's website, I called them up, I filed a complaint, and I won! Not only did I get my account restored, I got a 2-page company apology. One of their high-ups called me, profusely apologized to me, and told me that the company's gonna change its policy over what I reported. And she said, you're right, I was aghast at what I discovered. I can't believe our company was doing this. We are so sorry. You're goddamn right you are. But yeah, it was nice to have a win against a big, giant, evil, soulless company. Have them be like, oh shit, you're right, we're wrong. Okay, next thing I wanna talk about, you guys. If you're going to come visit me, I love it when people come in here that are followers. We take, happy to take a picture, I'll sign a book for you, whatever you want. You can stay, you can chat, you can watch me film, do a TikTok. Please don't stay for an hour. My time is my most valuable commodity, and it is kind of starting to become a problem with people coming and visiting the shop. I love it when you come by, but just know how busy I am. And I'm here, like right now, it's almost 7 o'clock right now as I'm filming this. And I still got more to do when I get done here. And this has been happening more and more. People are stopping by, but then they stay for like an hour or two. And I don't want to be like, get out, I'm busy, but it is coming to a point where I have to start laying down the law and being like, look, I can't entertain you for an hour and a half. I just can't. So just please be respectful of my time when you come in, unless you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars, in which case you have a seat, you make yourself at home, I'll pour you a drink. But for the average person, you guys, I don't make a lot of money on these transactions. If I'm making 20 bucks off of you, that's great, but my operating costs are enormous. I value my time at $100 an hour. That's just a standard to keep everything here going, to make everything economic and feasible, and to keep things turning. I need to be generating $100 in profits per hour here. So if I'm not doing that off one sale, then it's actually costing me money. Some other things I quickly want to talk about. So when TikTok banned me about a month ago, I started making Instagram Reels, and I've been making more and more and more of them. It's going really well. My Instagram account is growing really fast. I don't really know where I'm getting at with this. I think it's interesting. I don't get shit for mean comments on TikTok. I get them on my comedy page. It's one of the reasons why I got Invisalign. I got so many nasty comments about my teeth, it actually started to get to me. And usually insults don't get to me, but that did. Ever since I've started making Instagram Reels, I've noticed most of the comments I get are really fucking mean, and I wonder why that is. I think it's because the audience is totally different. Last thing I want to talk about before we get into the questions. Again, you guys, I'm really busy. I would love to appraise your guys' stuff. I am not a free appraisal service. Do not text me pictures of your items and ask me what it's worth. I get this happening. It's happening a lot and more and more and more. And I have a Discord. The Discord has a thing called What the Fuck Is This? I made it specifically as a free appraisal service. I use it myself. Something walks in here, I don't know what it is. I go on my Discord, I take a picture. The community is almost 3,000 strong now. We're just shy of it. So it is a great resource to use for free. The link to get to all the Pondman stuff, it's a Linktree link. That's a drop down of like this many different things. You can get my books, you can go to my YouTube, everything Pondman. Even the things that aren't Pondman, that are just affiliated with me, Evan Kale, all that stuff is there. It is the main link in my bio on TikTok. You can't miss it. All right, with that, you guys, let's get into the questions for the week. And I am trying to have more guests on the show like I had last week. I had Blake Alma at the Coin Hub. Okay, anyway, let's get into the questions here. First question coming in from Riker Collins. Riker asks, great video so far, I'm only 50 minutes in. I'm loving up a question. The picture of Abraham Lincoln in your back corner is awesome. I'm wondering if it's for sale. No. Let me show you guys the picture that he's talking about. So when I go live on TikTok, I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, I don't do it like this. So this is kind of, if you've never seen my TikTok live, this is what it looks like. I'll sit right here. In fact, I'm usually lazy and I either keep this light right behind me or I do this bullshit where it's like the halo over my head. But you can see some of the stuff that's up here, and this is the item in question. Look at that, I'm figuring out that weatherman thing one day at a time. And no, this is not for sale. This is a gift from my parents. This has been hanging in my house, like my childhood home. I wanna say my mom bought this at a garage sale in like 2005 or 6. And I really liked it ever since we had it. So my parents moved out of Edina, they moved to the small town they live in now. And I was visiting them about 9 months ago. And they had this in a room. There was basically an extra room that was unoccupied and they totally don't use. I asked my dad if I could have it when he was very intoxicated, and he said, oh son, you can have anything you want. So I took it, and then my mom, I guess she wasn't terribly thrilled that I just took it, but I was like, oh, I got permission. Not from you. I mean, it was like the same thing I used to do as a kid. I would ask the parent that I knew I would get the right answer from, and then just not ask the other parent, and then if the other parent got pissed, it was like, well, I'm sorry, I thought your saying was equal here. I didn't realize that I had to go to one over the other for the authority. And then I'd make them fight each other, and then I'd grab some popcorn, and I'd sit back and I'd watch. And they never got divorced. I'm not gonna add to that. So yeah, this is not for sale. I like this way too much. Most of this stuff, if the price was right, I would sell it. Like I don't wanna sell my Russian General. I don't wanna sell that. I don't wanna sell that. I would sell any of these. Actually, that might be very expensive. We'll talk about that one later. But if I got it as a gift from my parents, I probably don't wanna sell it. Question 2, coming in from Benjamin Madsen. Benjamin asks, what is your take on the stuff people collect like stamps and other similar collectibles? I mean, I don't have an opinion on collectibles, period. I don't care what you collect. For whatever it is you're collecting, there's a reason you're doing it. Something happened, even if you don't realize it, something happened at some point in your life to make you start liking something, and you decided you liked it enough where you just wanted to start hoarding it. What's my take on people that collect weird things like stamps and, you know, boomer shit, other stuff? It makes them happy. Cool. It doesn't make me happy. I like to collect old controversial things. I like collecting German note geld. That is the one thing I am actively collecting. I'm building up a bigger and bigger collection. There's very few collections that I would look down upon or say, no, you're doing that for the wrong reason. Because if you're a collector, the only reason you collect is because it makes you happy. Question 3, coming in from Kevin Jones. Kevin asks, what's something you didn't think had market, but you were surprised that it did? Those collectible die-cast fire truck toys. I filmed the deal. It was from maybe about 5-6 months ago. These people that brought it in were epitome of why you watch this show. Just coming in, reeking of cigarettes and farts and actively farting and having the most foul, disgusting, low-class conversation as I'm doing business with. Like, I was busy. It was a day that I was alone, and they're over here waiting, and I'm doing business with somebody else. I'm like overhearing their conversation. It was just like gross. They left the place trashy. They had, you know, a box of shit. I looked at it. I thought, oh, come on. You want how much for this crap? I see it's brand new in the box, but like, I feel like you're suckering me on this. I feel like I'm not gonna get my money out on this. I offered 15 and I felt bad about offering them 15. When they left, I spent 420 bucks. That $400 became about 4,000. I still have a few of them left, but those boxes, those die-cast toy collectible boxes, those were going for low end $100, high end $3. The model house, the fire station house that they had, I sold that for $400. Holy shit, I was so surprised. Question 4, coming in from Michael Hood. Michael says, what are some podcasts you listen to not related to the business? I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts because I'm really busy. So there are 3 podcasts that I ritualistically listen to every single week. They are Time Suck. I got two stickers here. Shout out to Dan Cummins. He does true crime, he does cults, he does religions. I've been listening to it for a number of years. I think I started in 2017. And it's evolved a lot too. It is a huge podcast now. It's like one of the biggest ones in the country. The other guy who I fucking worship, I talk about him all the time. He's who I discovered the Minerva dollar story through. He covered it on his podcast, and I like almost drove off the road when I was listening to it because I was like, holy shit, I gotta talk about that. Behind the Bastards with Robert Evans, and he does some other podcasts. He does great work. He's a former journalist. He's been to like some war zones. It seems like he's seen some like really incredible fucked up things, but I respect the hell out of him. And then the third one that I always listen to is the Lions Led by Donkeys podcast. It's about military history and like mainly like military blunders and like just stupid shit that happened. Usually in military, not always. It's like become more of a historical podcast, but really funny and just some like incredible and crazy stories. If you guys like some of the shit that I talk about here on Pawn Man, this is a podcast for you. Last question coming in here from Dave. Dave asks, what is your today is the day I die incident with a customer that wasn't shown on YouTube? I've never had something that bad happen. The one time I thought that I was gonna get punched was, and I've told this story before, it was right after the George Floyd riots. I'll quickly recap. Very shortly after the George Floyd riots, like maybe like a week or two after, and we have a Black Lives Matter sign. This is when I worked at the old shop. So we put up a Black Lives Matter sign, and this young black kid walks in. He's like maybe like 21, 22, rips out these earrings, and they're these tiny diamond-studded earrings that are like, yay big. So he wants to sell these earrings. So he paid $1,000 for like $1,100 or something stupid. Right when he says the number, this was back when we were all wearing face masks, and I made a face and I was like, oh shit. Okay, I need to figure out how I can diffuse this and give him a price that is not gonna make him punch me in the face, because when I tell him what this shit's worth, he's gonna get pissed. I know he is. So I tried to explain how diamonds are a scam. I mean, you guys saw the episode. And at the end of it, I said, I guarantee you, you're gonna lose 90% of your investment of what I'm gonna offer you here. And I put him on the scale, showed it, did the math in front of them. They melted at 150. I offered them 120, and that was generous, because I guarantee nobody around town would have offered that. And he said, 120? I said, look, I can go to 125, but no more. 120? Man, you tripping. White boy, you tripping. And he flips the fuck out and accuses me of ripping off the entire black community and sticking up a Black Lives Matter sign in the window as a bait and switch, and I'm this evil white person that it's just like, oh my god, okay, you my guy. So I'm trying to calm him down and get him, and he's leaving, but as he's leaving, he starts threatening to burn the business down. He says, me and my homies, we're gonna come back tonight. We're gonna burn this place down tonight. We gonna loot it tonight. We gonna teach you a lesson. So like I said, I thought he was gonna hit me. I had just started carrying a gun then, so I wasn't worried about that. He didn't hit me, he leaves. But after he leaves, I turned to the old man, I was like, that was a credible threat. I need to document this. So I followed him, I didn't follow him out, I waited for him to get out, and I walked out and I started taking pictures, because he parked right out front, of his car and his license plate, and he flies out of the car. And it's like, oh shit, like now you wanna fight me. He thinks in his head of heads, it's illegal for me to take a picture of someone's license plate. It's not. So I quickly go back in, and they had the bulletproof glass and like the door that locks. So like he's in the entryway and he's screaming bloody murder at me. And I'm like, dude, like you're trespassing. You need to leave. And again, if you don't like someone's price in this business, even if it's a ripoff, you can say fuck you and storm out. But don't threaten violence. Holy shit, it's just a business transaction. So he says, I'm gonna call the police. Hello, 911? Yeah, I was just in this guy's store, and so I threatened to burn his business down, and he took a picture of my license plate. And like his face just warps with horror. I don't know what the 911 operator says, but he goes right on out and he gets in the car and he takes off. And then the cop showed up like 2 minutes later, and I was like, he created that whole thing. I don't know what to tell you guys. Anyway, that'll about do it for this Between the Pawn. If you guys like this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up. Post your questions in the comment section below so that I can answer it on the next Between the Pawn. Please share my videos, you guys. Go on Facebook. I try not to use Facebook because I don't like it. But I'm everywhere else, and organic growth really helps. Sharing, telling people, watch this guy's videos. This YouTube channel is starting to grow, but this has been pushing a boulder up a mountain for me, and it is part of my business strategy here to have a big YouTube channel, especially given the amount of effort that I put into it. YouTube pays creators fairly, TikTok does not. For all 200,000 plus followers I have now on TikTok, I make about $1.10 a day. I make about $15 a day here on YouTube with my 13,000. It just goes to show you, how valuable a YouTube audience is versus other stuff. I so appreciate you guys being on here. You guys here watching this now, just know that you are hardest to get. It is all my effort getting you here to the end of this video, watching this part, watching the words coming out of my mouth right now. You are probably my best followers. So thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. Just please help me grow. Get my books on Amazon. Just type in Evan Kale. They'll all come up. Become a Pawn Man Patreon. I could really use some better equipment. I really want to buy a teleprompter. It'll make my life so much easier for making long monologues. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys back here for another episode of Between the Pawn. Later, guys.